Hi.
Hola.
Hi, hier ist Mr. Döse.
This is Michael Bradley.
Hey, I'm Memphis.
Hey.
Hola. Hello.
I'm here with soccer.com.
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 And I'm talking with my friends soccer.com.
See you soon.
Hey guys, Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the Nike HypervenomX Proximo 2 in the turf variation in the latest Motion Blur Pack colorway. Now, as you can see, unlike the regular Motion Blur Pack, this being the Nike X line, it features a very different shade of blue than what you find in the regular Motion Blur Hypervenom, which features more of a sky blue color. This, though, looks quite unique, and we'll take a closer look at the colorway in today's video. We'll also talk tech specs, performance features, being that this is the turf variation of the HypervenomX Proximo 2, and as well take a look at how they fit and feel on feet. So if you're interested in learning more, please stick around, watch the entire video. If you're interested in a pair of these for yourself, I'll leave a little pop-up on screen, or you can click the first link down below in the description. That'll take you to the review page on my website where you'll find Buy It Now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these up below their normal $175 retail price. So again, if you're interested in a pair, be sure to go ahead and check that out. It is a top-end model from Nike, but for whatever reason, they do not come with a string bag. All you get in the box are the shoes themselves, so please keep that in mind. In regards to the colorway itself, you have a couple different shades of blue here. You have the exposed Flyknit, which you have in the collar, the laces, as well as the area where the laces are positioned, which I would say is basically a navy blue. That's the best way to describe it. You have the accents in the flywire cables, the inside of the collar, the little detail here on the back, and some of the actual flywire cables you can see peeking through the medial side. Same thing with the zoom unit on the bottom. That's more of like a standard royal blue color. And then you have a very dark navy blue. It almost looks black depending on the lighting right here on the lateral side of the shoe, which accents really, really interestingly with the actual black Nike swoosh. So you can see the difference in shade there is very, very minimal. The swooshes themselves, black with a white outline. You can see this part here. I believe it's supposed to be white, but because you have the darker blue background right side by side, and then you have the blue peeking through with the flywires, it gives it almost this really kind of icy blue color, which actually looks really cool in person. You of course have the white midsole and then the black outsole with the turf bottom. So overall, really, really interesting colorway. Let me know what you guys think of it down below in the comment section. Do you love them? Do you hate them? Why or why not? I'd be really curious to hear your opinions. Now, in regards to the performance and tech specs of this shoe, this is essentially the turf or indoor variation of the Hypervenom Phantom 3, dubbed the HypervenomX Proximo 2. I know that's a little bit confusing, but that's how it ended up working out. So with the upper, it's a full Flyknit construction, essentially exactly the same as what you would find from a Phantom 3, the DF variation mid-cut. This is not available in a low-cut version like the Phantom 3, so keep that in mind as well. But nonetheless, it's the exact same Flyknit construction with the 3D texturing to it. So you have this pattern going down the lateral side pretty much throughout the entire shoe. The only thing you're going to notice that's different with the indoor or turf version, the Proximo, is that you don't have the pour-on inserts running through the strike zone. It's just straight up Flyknit with the texturing within the pattern itself. So the end result is not necessarily a shoe that I would say performs any better or worse. It just feels a little bit thinner in the striking area of your foot, which really comes down to personal preference. I would prefer to have the foam there. I'm not entirely sure why they don't include it on the indoor turf variation of the shoe, but that is the one difference when you're comparing these to the regular Phantom 3. You get the same Nike skin covering, you get the ACC all conditions control wet control element, you get the same flywire cables running through, attaching the laces to the upper and really doing their part in terms of securing your foot in place. The laces are off-centered, as you guys can see. And again, the end result is a shoe that still feels very comfortable. I'm a big fan of this Flyknit upper. It's flexible, it feels very sock-like, it feels very natural on your foot. The overall fit, which I'll talk about later in the video, it's very similar to what you'll find from the Phantom 3. Different feel underfoot because of the turf bottom, but very similar in regards to overall shape, which is definitely nice. And again, I'm a big fan of this shoe in general. It's kind of that middle ground when you're comparing the Superfly 5 and the Magista Ober 2 in terms of the feel that it has on offer. So overall, very positive experience from a Flyknit upper in regards to this particular shoe. The mid-cut aspect, which is, like I said, the only version of this boot, features the new collar, which is slightly higher on the medial side. Not a super noticeable thing when you're actually wearing them, in all honesty. You have an internal plastic heel counter, the smooth synthetic leather liner on the inside. I'll pull the insole out so you guys can get a better look at that. It's pretty much the same insole you would find with a regular Phantom 3. It's got the Nike Grip top layer, which in all honesty doesn't really feel different from a regular mesh lining. Not a big difference there. And then you do have the Ortholite foam for the bottom, or the main part of the insole. Good quality, really nice material for the insole itself. As far as the actual outsole and turf bottom is concerned, this is available in an indoor variation as well. So for indoor courts or any kind of street soccer, a flat environment, or a hard concrete surface, a hardwood floor, that's where you would want an indoor version. But this, of course, is the turf variation, which features these I guess diamond-shaped nubs, which is normally what you would find from a turf pattern. It's nothing too unusual. And really, this is a stud pattern, or outsole, I should say, that's designed. You can use it on artificial grass, which is the plastic blades of grass with the rubber pellets scattered throughout. It's going to work, but it's not going to be the most aggressive type of traction, and not really ideal if it's an outdoor artificial grass field and the field's a little bit wet. This can be a little bit slippery, but if it's dry, you shouldn't have too many issues. Again, it's just not going to be the most aggressive thing in the world. This is more so designed for kind of the rough carpet, old school style of turf, where you don't need studs. It's not a very deep surface, but having these little nubs will make a big difference in terms of providing really, really good traction, again, on that specific surface. So that's really what the turf version is intended for. So the midsole, as you guys can see, white in color. It's a Phylon foam, nothing too fancy there. That's going to be the majority of your cushioning. And then you do have a zoom unit right here, six-sided zoom unit right under the heel, which you're going to find in a lot of high-performance Nike products. Their training, their running, their basketball line. We haven't really seen it in soccer for a little while, and in all honesty, it's not a super noticeable thing on this particular shoe. I would say overall, underfoot cushioning is above average here. They feel fairly low profile, not overly close to the ground, but they feel nice and solid. I think that if you want the best underfoot cushioning from this Nike X line, the Tiempo or the Magista line with the Lunar Lawn setup, to me, offers a little bit better cushioning than this, but this definitely does get the job done. No major complaints. You have the big rubber lip going through the forefoot toe box area with the nylon stitching, which just enhances the overall durability. These shoes should hold up extremely well on a very abrasive turf surface. And again, in regards to traction, you kind of know what to expect. I haven't experienced too many turf outsoles that feel distinctively different from anything else. They all seem to perform very, very similarly, and this one was no different. It does get the job done. In regards to weight, in a size 9 US, these guys weigh in at 9.8 ounces, so they do weigh a fair bit more in comparison to the firm ground version of the Phantom 3, and the reasoning for that is not the upper. It has everything to do with the foam midsole and the significant amount of rubber that you have here on the outsole, but that's kind of the trade-off you make with any turf or indoor shoe. Because you have so much rubber, that's going to add a significant amount of weight to the boot. Not necessarily to the point where I would say that they feel heavy on your feet, but again, in comparison to the regular Phantom 3, definitely a lot heavier, but not really heavy for a turf shoe in terms of comparing it to other boots out there. So that's enough about tech specs and performance. Let's take a look at the fit and feel on feet. So you can see here on the right boot, I actually swapped out the stock laces for some blue camo SR4U replacement laces. Since there was so many shades of blue happening on the shoe already, I figured I'd add a little bit more with these camo laces. I think the end result is a pretty cool color combo. So if you are interested in a pair of SR4U laces for yourself, the website to go to is www.sr4ulaces.com. There'll be a little pop-up on screen, as well as a link down below in the description. So if you're interested in a pair, be sure to go ahead and check that out. So it's going to tie these up really, really quickly. What you'll immediately notice when tying up this shoe or a regular Phantom 3 is that the flywire cables do a huge part in terms of securing your foot in place. They really run all the way through the upper into the base of the sole and really just hold the midfoot, forefoot area in place really, really nicely without taking away from the softness and I guess sock-like sensation that you get from these particular shoes. They really do have that natural sock-like sensation that Nike was really aiming for when they first introduced knitted boots in the first place. This is, in my opinion, their best knitted upper to date. It really is that good. So I'm just going to tie up this left shoe really, really quickly, and we'll get a look at both of the boots on feet. So out of the box, what you're really going to find with these shoes is that they are quite comfortable. Again, it's got a very similar softness to what you're going to find on the regular Phantom 3, given that it's pretty much the same upper. The pads not having the pour-on inserts, you don't really feel that on your feet at all. You'll notice it in terms of touch when comparing the two, but in terms of comfort and fit, it doesn't impact anything whatsoever. And really, there's not a whole lot of break-in time required. It's a mid-cut boot from Nike, so if you haven't worn that before, it can feel a little bit strange at first, but you'll get used to that pretty quickly. But again, not a whole lot to break in here. Just take it easy for the first couple of wears, and you shouldn't have too many issues. In regards to width, it's similar to what you're going to find from the regular Hypervenom, so they're not overly narrow, but it is a tighter fitting shoe. So I say that these will fit most people. They're not super, super wide, so if you have really wide feet, maybe not the best option, but for most people, you shouldn't have too many issues as long as you don't mind a snug fit overall. And in regards to sizing, I'm wearing my usual size 9 US here, and the fit and length is absolutely perfect. So if you are looking to order a pair of these for yourself, I would strongly recommend going true to size in order to achieve the best possible fit. So that is pretty much it, guys, for my review of the HypervenomX Proximo 2s in the turf variation in the new Motion Blur Pack colorway. Again, if you're interested in a pair for yourself, you can click the little eye in the corner of the screen or the first link down below. That'll take you to the review page on my website, where you'll find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these up below their normal $175 retail price. If you have any questions regarding this shoe, leave them down below in the comment section, and I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information linked down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.